We finally have some good rains. There's been some thunderstorms all day. And I'm happy to report that my sealant fix underneath this door is holding up. I did like 2 big layers of the rubber sealant underneath the door and on the cracks. A 3rd layer spot checking where it was really bad, and then 2 layers of the rubber sealant paint as well on the underneath the door as well as into the doorway. And it's holding up. That's really good. The outside is yet to be fixed, but I think I can confirm that I can complete the tiling on this section now. Hello and welcome to a brand new video and what you've been waiting for, a renovation update. Hey boy. It's hot in here, hey boy. I know you have been waiting a while to see this update, but you are seeing it as I am managing to do it. It's been taking a while, and I won't lie, the tiling has been absolutely frustrating to do whilst I'm trying to get everything else done as well. So it has been a while, and if I had paid someone to do it, it definitely would have been a lot faster, probably within a week, not in months as it's been going with me. But the good news is I'm so close to being finished. I just need some help with cutting some really weird, awkward pieces and doing the front section into the passageway, and then at least the tiles are down. Then the next big job comes with cleaning all the mortar that is between the tiles, and of course the final grout, final clean, and then the tiling job will be complete after that. There's some exciting things that I'm going to be trying to do this week. I've decided what I'm going to do on the trim edge next to the tiles. I've not yet decided what I'll do on the trim edge next to the wall. I had originally thought of putting some rope down because my walls are bendy, so I need something quite bendy. But I don't know if rope's going to work because I've got nothing to tie the rope to, and if I put a nail through the rope, it will not look as pleasing to the eye, I think. So I'm still wondering what to put on these edges where the tiles meet, because obviously the walls bend, which means the tiles aren't all straight, so it looks a little bit weird to the eye. Some other ideas that I came up with was to use styrofoam cornices, the smaller pieces. I think one can glue it on, or maybe those I can even put with nails, but I can cover the nails up and then paint over the styrofoam. But I don't know. If you've got any ideas, do let me know in the comments what kind of trim I can use on the tile side. But I'm excited to share with you my ideas for the wall side, on the edges of the tiles, on the gaps there. But let me give you a quick update on the tiling.
This is Girl Meets Farm.
A quick update on the toilet. Unfortunately, it's been over a week now and the plumber has still not been here, and I still can't use the toilet. So it's back to the bucket method for me. Unfortunately, I can also not use the outhouse because there are 2 big swarms that have moved in there. I've been removing one of the nests that has been inside the actual outhouse every day when they've been rebuilding it. But in the last 3 days, they've been building it literally underneath the toilet seat. So I have just avoided the outhouse completely.
2 weeks before I left for South Africa, I had a visit from a friend of mine. So I had to clean up this space and make it a little bit better for her to stay in. But it made me really excited for what's to come.
So I'm back from South Africa, and here the timeline changes a little bit because now it's obviously after I'm back from South Africa. And today I continue with the tiling. Before I left, let me show you what I've done. I had, hey boy, sealed the door properly and then put the rubber paint sealant on as well. This was my little makeshift curtain for while I was away. So this area of tiling still needs to be done now that this section has dried. So what's going to happen today is that all of these weird cut lines that I'm not very comfortable to do because I'm not very comfortable handling an angle grinder because I'm really scared for my fingers. So today Hat is going to come join me and together we're going to tackle this last section of the tiling on this side. Of course, unfortunately, that is also not the last of the tiling that needs to be done because I have still to finish this section on this side. But I can do that. I mean, I can probably do that in the meantime. But what we're also hopefully going to do today is to pour the concrete level with that middle section to this floor. Let that dry, and then Had should be able to come back and help me with the cut lines of these weird angles again through here. Then I can finish this section here up until that square. And I can actually finish all the tiling into that step going into the main room. And then the tiling on this side should be, the tiling should be finished. We can then also clean up, or I can clean up all of this grout that's stuck here on the tiles, which is where I had the clips in between, like so. And then I can actually grout the tiles, and then this section will be finished. So I can move everything over from that side to this side and start the tiling on that side of the room and also the ceiling painting on that side of the room. Right now, let me quickly clean up this area, clean up the area where we're going to be working, this side and here by the door, so that it's all ready for when Hat arrives. We finished the tiling and I had to make a contraption here so the dogs won't go through where we're now going to be pouring the concrete. Good dogs. Oh, I can help. Oh, shame. Thanks. Gert is here helping me. Mixing the concrete. The lighting isn't so great, but let's see if we can get in there.
Now we need a bit.
Hat has just left and we've managed to complete this little section and now make it even with the floor on that side. So this will all be even flooring until here, and this will be a little step down into this room here. So yeah, that looks exciting. And then I might just leave that now to dry until tomorrow. Let me go around here. Thank goodness we have this door. And on this side, I've just had to also close it off for the dogs, of course. And I can clean everything up pretty soon, and that's a little bit more dry. And Hat also helped me in the corner here. So we managed to do from that little tile over there, which he helped me cut all the way to these. So this little section all staggered to the door. Because it's such a tiny space and it's a little bit of an awkward space, we couldn't finish the rest of the tiles because we have to start the tiling from this side to let it flow properly. And when you reach that corner and these are wet, it's going to make it super difficult and awkward to work. So we're going to wait for this to dry now. It should dry within 2 days. And then I can continue with the tiling up until where we'll need Gert's help to just cut that last tile again. And it's already looking so good. It's I'm really, really happy with that. It's looking really, really good. Then on this side, I'm going to continue tiling maybe another row. And then I will have to bring it up to here because I've got to start my tiling again from this side because that's where my line starts. I've got to make sure that I continue the line down. So I'll have a very similar issue again as I had on that side, which means that I can do maybe one more row, let that dry, and then another row, let that dry, and then see where we are. I think it's only another 2 rows maybe that I need to do here to bring it up to the wall. And then once I've done that, then Gert can also come and help me do this stagger on this side. By then that concrete should be dry and tileable, and we're going to have to do the same thing. So there'll be awkward cuts here, and I'm going to be tiling all the way through the space onto what's going to be the new step there. Tile, 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 and then of course tiling all the way up against this wall. And as I've already mentioned, the tiling will end on this corner because I do need to keep the dip so that the door can close. What I'll then do once all of this tiling is finished and dry is do a very light layer of concrete just to even it out, seal that with rubber sealant paint, and then I'm going to put a mat on there just so that there's a mat that can fit underneath the door, but there will always be this kind of dip here to come into the room. And yeah, that is as far as our tiling has gone today. It was a very successful day. I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with what we've managed to achieve today. So now it's up to me to just continue the tiling on this side and that side and that side, and then it's grouting time. The little piece of cement that we poured here in this little passageway has dried quite nicely. I sponged off the top of that side, but I didn't do this side because I didn't know how much of a difference it would actually make to do it. So I just left this side. Since I'm going to be tiling over it anyway, I thought it didn't really need to be perfect. So this is all dry, and that worked quite nicely. And surprise, surprise, I just had this installed. It was so hot when I got here on Saturday that I just couldn't anymore, and I bought an air conditioning unit and I had it installed by a professional team today. I'm so happy, even though my electricity is still the basics of the basics electricity, the air conditioner does work. I'm so excited to have this for the next hot days, and it's going to make a huge difference in summer. The time has come to complete that row and complete the last 2 rows on this side and there. Gert has generously helped me to cut the corner tiles so that I can complete these last 2 rows. And in the meantime, I've also had a real good think about what it is that I'm going to do on the edges. Now, these edges are not going to be straight. I've already measured this, and it widens out quite a bit as it closes on this side, and of course the other side will probably be the same. So what I'm thinking of doing is, I had an idea to put mosaics down, but now I'm also thinking if those mosaics are stone mosaics, to kind of almost mimic this, or any kind of rough stone that does not have a square pattern, that can be a little bit abstract. Maybe the eye won't notice it so much, or it will look a little bit more intentional. Look, it's gonna be intentional, but I thought that would actually look quite nice, and it will tie in the pillars to the floor if I find some stone mosaics. I haven't found them yet, but that's kind of the plan. But first, I'm going to finish these 2 rows today. It is incredibly hot. And then I'm just going to lay that one so that the row is finished. And then possibly tomorrow I can continue another row and another row the day after that. Let's see. The corner is complete. It might not be perfect, but it's tiled. And as you can see, it does widen up quite a little bit, but I think it will add to the character, especially if I put stone down. Now the next job would be to find some really nice stone mosaics. Hey boy. I didn't get a chance to lay that one. I didn't have enough mortar, so I'll do it with the next round of tiles. And then of course, once that is done, it's the big cleanup of all of this mortar that's still stuck where all of the doodahs were. Another one closer. I think I can add 2 more there. And I'll see, maybe 1 more. Maybe I've done the last row today. This is an interesting one. Watch the wall. It goes bigger. And unfortunately, I couldn't finish the row because the tile keeps breaking. The piece that I have to cut is this small so that the tile fits in. And every time it's that small, you really need an angle grinder to get it in there. So I'm gonna have to wait for that, but this is the update on the tiles. Oh, I'm still deciding. So as you can see, the wall doubles here. I can actually fit a whole other tile here, and then that gap will be a little bit smaller than that gap. So I'm toying with the idea of putting another row of tiles to the end, and then having a smaller gap on this side to that side. Let me know what you think. This is what the tiling looks like. This is roughly what it would look like if I were to place another row of tiles and then do the stone mosaic there. So again, it narrows out, but then that gap and this gap are more or less the same. But does it look better this way?
Or without?
And then that would be the stone that continues all the way to the front there. Let me know in the comments what you think.